Eamon O'Carroll, the scenes at the end there, really jubilant and joyous. You've ended the Post Office Road hoodoo.
Yeah, but no, just really pleased for the group. That's nice to know that we're the first team to come and get a win in 9 years. But there was a much bigger picture today for us, and we spoke during the week about if we want to be a serious team or be taken serious this year. Going back on up a performance like from Halifax was really important to us as a group, and just really proud of how they went and did that today.
You asked for a continuation of that performance against Halifax. Is it fair to say that the players delivered that?
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly for large periods. Again, we were under some adversity there. Losing Mitch for 10 minutes, I thought we handled that period really well. The team just looked desperate at the minute, and I love that about them. The connection that they've got, they're a really close group, and that's down to them. That's no one else. That's down to them. So there's a good feel there at the minute, and we're not getting it all our own way either. So that makes it even more pleasing that we stick together through the tough bits.
You've mentioned the word desperate there. There was a lot of desperate Bradford defence, which ultimately paved that way to victory. Yeah,
absolutely. I think one thing I can never question them on is their effort there. We're disappointed in how we conceded the tries. We probably had too much effort, and what I mean by that is someone trying to put the fire out themselves, and they're a very dangerous team, Featherstone, when you present pockets of space in your defensive line. So they got us a couple of times on there, which was really disappointing, and then obviously tested us with 5 minutes to go and just got us on an edge there. So, but in terms of our overall defensive performance, I thought they had great character and really dug in for each other.
And there was a number of defensive tackles that resulted in Featherstone coughing up possession, turning over possession. I think I had it at 7 or 8.
Right, yeah, well, I'm not too sure on the stat with that, but I thought in collision we were fantastic today for large periods. There were times when we got it wrong a little bit, but I certainly can't knock our effort. It's an area we enjoy, we want to be good at, and we know how important it is as well, so we really value that area. And yeah, it was good to see the lads go and put some pressure on the defence and get the ball back for doing so.
Just focusing on the defence, Connor Carr, he dragged Callum Atkins into touch. That resulted in a try in the first half, and then in the second half he lassoed Manoa Wakoke into touch, and from the resulting scrum, McGowan feeds Connor Carr in again. A real highlighting performance from him.
Yeah, absolutely, and the team getting the benefit for his effort. It would be easy for him just to handball on down there, but he didn't. He wanted to work hard, and he did, and he got a result for himself and for the team. I thought it was immense for us today. Some of the things he was doing off the ball as well were spectacular, but his involvements throughout the game were really strong.
It was an initial 2-week loan. George Tafua's back next week. Is it too early to say what might or may not happen with him?
Yeah, well, I think it will be determined by Huddersfield, that so we love having him here. He's been great for us, and it's no secret we're lacking in numbers at the minute and competition for places, so but we love having him in here, and if we're able to keep him long term, we will do.
How important was that first half, that first 20 minutes where you're going up the slope, dealing with some adversity, and you score those 2 tries, and you've got that buffer, that 10-0 buffer?
Yeah, it helps, it certainly does. I just like the way that we went about it, to be honest with you. We were really patient, and we had to work extremely hard to get our points. Featherstone will test you and they'll make you work hard for it, and that was one thing. I've seen a big difference in the last 2 weeks. We're happy to try and get to last play, and something we've probably been guilty of not doing, up until this period. So the lads are getting the reward for that now.
What's the most pleasing aspect of this performance?
If I'm totally honest with you, it's just how close they look in the change rooms. As a coach, I think that for me is something that makes you proud as a coach. Seeing a group that cares. They care deeply about the club, the performance, and wanting to put a show on. So it's important, mate. We've won 2 games, and when we've lost one as well. So it's really important that we hold on to that, and that's how we represent ourselves and the club every week, not just against 2 of our local rivals.
Has everybody come through unscathed? No injuries?
Yeah, the only one, you might not believe it, was Aidan McGowan. He was ill at half time. Yeah, feeling really ill. I just laughed at him and said, "I'm leaving you alone. I'm not even speaking to you. Get out there and do your job, what you've been doing," because he was really good for us. So yeah, touch wood, everyone's all right.
Just a little bit on Mitch Souttar's sin binning. I've spoke to Mitch after the game. He's adamant he wasn't involved in that tackle, and he's been sin binned for no apparent reason.
Yeah, we'll have a look at it. It's hard. It's a quick game, isn't it? The officials have a difficult job, so we'll have a look at that. It didn't have a very factor on the game in the end. So look, if that isn't the case and it wasn't Mitch, people make mistakes, don't they? So we'll move on pretty quickly.
There were some eye-catching tries. Certainly the second from Connor Carr, that looked like a training ground move straight off the field at Tong.
Yeah. They've been working hard. It's been important with so many disruptions and new people coming in that we maximise our time on the field and get some combinations going. And I thought they looked good when they executed them, but I just liked the build up to it, and I we were willing to build pressure to get some field position and then try and ice a play and execute a play when we could. So huge credit to the playing group for doing that.
What does this win do, Eamon? Because a lot of people will look at this and it almost feels, although we're in round 3, it is a statement win coming here and beating Featherstone.
No, I think we have to try and change our mentality slowly over time and understand that that's expected at this club. This is the way that we need to perform. It's not, it shouldn't just be out of the ordinary that we go and win a game. Against tough opposition, we want to be a team that's competing. Really important to me that we stay humble and keep our feet firmly on the ground. This can change so quickly. It's really important that we manage ourselves, enjoy this now, but when we come back in next week, it's back to work. And where do we get better? Because that wasn't perfect. We conceded too many points. And the way that we conceded them, it isn't acceptable. But although I'm ecstatic and I'm really proud of the group for their effort, I can see that burning us at some stage, and we don't want it to get to that.
Second game for Zach Fulton. I thought he was absolutely devastating in both attack and defence.
Yeah, he was. He's loving his time here at the minute, Zach. So I think he's a bit shocked with the weather, but that's to be expected. But I believe there's a lot more in Zach as well. We've got a good one there.
And just on yourself, Eamon, 3 games in now, can't be noted to me when you're going over to the fans, that connection that your side have with those 600 supporters that were here this afternoon.
I think it's really important, and I made a point of doing the same when we went down at Wakefield. I think it's really important. We value the support. They're important to us as a group, and they support us, and it doesn't go unnoticed from the group.